My name is Shannon Kemp. I have been with the Day in the Life program at Agate Housing and Services for about 6 years. Prior to that, I have been homeless off and on for the last 20-ish years. I came to Minnesota about 12 years ago, and the first year and a half I was here, I lived in a tent outdoors through the Minnesota winter, and I remember getting up and my ankles being frozen and it being so painful to try to stand up and put my shoes on, and being so cold. I would be in my tent and I would be bundled up. I even had a Mr. Heater, but I could only run that for so long in a tent. And it was so hard living outside, especially when I was struggling with other issues like addiction and mental health, and the depression from being outside and being hopeless. It was something I'll never forget. And I know when I see people outside or when the weather changes, I think about how many people are going through the same thing that I went through. And, it's heartbreaking and it's such a struggle. And it's more prevalent than most people would even know. I know some of the encampments are pretty visible, but there's so much and so many that are not. I was off in a wooded area where nobody could see me. And then behind me, there were more people that had been out. One had been living outside for 8 years. And, that was regular for him. But no matter how long I was out there, I never got used to it. And it's something to think about it. I can't even believe that I made it through. I remember taking medication so I could try to overdose, and sleeping for days at a time. And, before I'd fall asleep, I would hope that I wouldn't even wake up. Obviously, that never happened. There were some outreach workers and some people that were helpful that did give me a heater and bought meals on Sundays and such. And I wasn't from here, so I didn't know about a lot of the resources until I met an outreach worker it was St. Stephen's then, but it's Agate now. And that's how I got on the road to getting into a housing program. And, getting housed changed everything. I got help for mental health, for my addiction, and I got a cat. Everything just kind of changed because I had a place to go. I didn't have to always think that I was going to be back in a tent on the ground, wondering if people would end up coming to my tent, not ever knowing what was happening, not knowing about the weather. And yeah, I hope people can see that it really is a struggle, and it can be a rut, but there are people that come back from it, and I hope that it can become less prevalent, because it is a sad affair, and I don't want that for anyone. And for me, it's just a dark period in my life that I will never, ever forget. And I'm just very, very thankful that I'm no longer in that situation.